It's 1:40 AM. I've had 2 minutes of sleep, and I do have a face like a startled hagfish. But I'm excited and I'm happy because we're leaving Vancouver Island for the first time in 6 months, and we're going to the Canadian Rockies.
Yeah. Adventures and wait and wait.
What?
I'm going to go back to bed.
That's a lot more energy than I was expecting from you, to be quite honest. Are you excited?
I will be when we get there.
That will be in 17 hours.
Oh.
I lied. The drive actually took closer to 24 hours after a couple of stops for my old man naps and regular chocolate breaks. We travelled through the night into British Columbia and then Alberta, having received email confirmation from Alberta Parks that tourists from BC would be welcome, but it looked like everyone else in Canada got the same email. After a bone-shaking ride on a dirt road, we finally arrived, hungry and completely exhausted, just in time for a high-altitude hike for some sunset photography up a very steep hill.
So we finally made it to Kananaskis in Alberta. We're about to head up the hill to Chester Lake. There's the Hardcastle Hotel there in the background. I haven't decided what I'm going to call it yet, so it might have a few different names until I settle on the right name. But I mean, just look at this. If you want to ever come to somewhere and just do car park photography, you know, 3 mosquitoes on my arm, you bastards. Yeah, if you ever wanted to just do car park photography, bosh, there you go. Okay, shall we blast up that hill?
Yeah, slowly.
Yeah.
What's this?
That's bear spray.
Do we need it? There's no bears up here, is there?
No, this is for steak seasoning. Yeah. Okay, let's go. It's kind of good that I'm such a really loud gas bag going up this hike because there's a lot of grizzly bears in this area. In fact, we saw one on the road about 5 minutes before we got to the car park. This is the place where I've seen the biggest grizzly bear of my entire life. It was so big, I thought it was a Highland cow. Honestly, I did a double take. So hopefully my chronic wheezing makes them think that there's some kind of weird Scottish bagpipe hiking through the hills and they run. I feel like it's a chocolate break time.
Already?
So the goal with this shoot is to get an epic mountain scene, which is pretty obvious because we're here in Kananaskis, but what I love about this lake area, it's not so much the lake, it's the meadow in front of it. Because in this meadow you have these beautiful grasses, and I'll be honest, I don't know what the plants are, but all these shrubs and patterns and shapes. And you get these little pockets of water so that you can get reflections of the mountain. But I'm also looking for one of those, it's almost a cliche, but one of those classic trail shots where you've got this trail that winds towards this spectacular view, which I've seen before when I've been up here before, so I'm hoping to get that. And if I can get some good light, this is going to be a fantastic day. It's supposed to have a little rain shower round about 6 PM, so I'm hoping to catch that, although we're a little bit late, but you never know, it might wait for me. And if I can capture that sort of shift between the two weather patterns from when it's rainy and then it clears up, I could get beautiful conditions. So fingers crossed. Is it time for chocolate yet?
Almost.
God.
Or maybe some organic gummy bears.
What are they like? Let's slow down. Maybe I should take charge of those.
You might not. I thought these were going to maybe last 3 days.
Those won't last 3 hours.
Really? I think they'll all be gone.
Well, the way you're scoffing them, they will.
You're worse than me. I don't think bears like candy, do you?
Oh shit, let's put them back in the bag.
Now, I'm pretty sure that bears like anything that they can get their omnivorous paws on. The hike up to Chester Lake is often closed due to bear activity. In fact, just a few days earlier, it was closed due to a grizzly dining out on an elk carcass. But obviously I didn't mention that to Amanda because I had plans for some epic mountain landscape photography, and we'd finally reached the perfect spot.
Okay, so my first objective is to get a trail shot that goes towards this peak, but I've been here a whole bunch of times over the last few years and I'm pretty sure it doesn't. They all kind of lead away from where I want them to lead. I want them to kind of lead to the center of this beautiful expanse of peaks of gorgeousness. I don't think that that's going to work. The other thing that I want to do, I've shot many times before, are these ponds just down here. They're really small from where we're standing right now, but when you get close, you can fill the frame and get a full reflection of the mountains in the water, make it look like a giant lake with a wide angle lens. So I'll try that as well, but the light's not too brilliant right now, and I think we've missed that rain. Oof. Anyway, it's time to put another layer on and protect myself from these Aussie bastards.
We're getting bad already.
Yeah. So let's make a bit of noise and see if there's any bears pop their heads up. Any bears? No? I don't want to get in amongst this green stuff only to find that a bear has been munching away with its head down.
No, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. So the plan is get a gorgeous reflection in this pool. So the first time I came up here was a few years ago with Brent Henderson, and he showed me this spot, and he wanted to hike way off into the distance there and summit that peak, and I was like, no, this is where the shot is. So I spent hours just scoping out different reflection, and Brent buggered off up the hill anyway. He came back and I was right, this is where it's at. But the problem I'm having is I want to compose a shot that's got a nice reflection, but I don't want it to just be pure reflection, so it's kind of boring. I want to have something in the foreground, a little bit of a ledge with this grassy nub, should we call it? But the problem is I have a midge net on, so this isn't a mosquito net, this is a midge net for use in Scotland. It's got a really tight weave.
So you can't see.
I can't see, I can't even focus properly. I don't even know what settings I've got on my camera, so would you be prepared to swap?
Is it warm? So
Oh, this will be even warmer, yeah.
Cold already.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 26 degrees Celsius and it's the middle of July, so of course she's brought a sleeping bag just to stand around in. So, will you do that?
Yeah, let's try.
Alright, so let's do a real quick swap so the bastards can't get in. You ready? Go.
Oh, it's growing things off it.
Oh, that's so much better. I can see again.
How do I do it? Just get in like a hat.
Stick your face in, yeah. How's that?
It smells musty.
Excuse me, it smells delicious. My manly fragrance. Right, now that I can see, I'll try and get this shot. Right, so what I want to do with this composition is show you a really, really simple but powerful technique. And what I'm trying to do with this demonstration is to show you how to exclude an element of your composition that is just extremely boring. So what I have with this composition here, which I'm hoping you can see, I'll just make it a little bit brighter by just opening up the aperture a little bit so you can see. So it's totally overexposed. Now it does look very, very tight in the frame because as soon as I hit record on the video, it crops to a 16:9. So the 3:2 does have quite a lot more space on the top and the bottom. But anyway, the point of this demonstration is to show you how to exclude a very boring element of this composition, and that would be, for me, it would be this middle area in the frame that's just this grassy expanse. It's not really doing anything for me when I could get much lower, I would say 7 feet lower, and what that would do is it would shrink down this boring area of the composition and give me more frame space to devote to the reflection and the upper part of the frame where you could see the sky coming in. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to drop down 7 feet and then I'll show you the difference that makes to this boring central area, and I'm hoping that you'll agree that it's much more interesting and gives frame space to what's more important. Right, so now I've moved down maybe 6 feet actually, and It's way better. I'm hoping you can see. Now, yeah, I have lost the top of the peak there. This is at 16mm on a full frame. Like I said, 3x2, that doesn't get cut off. It's just because I'm recording video. But the point is, look at how narrow now this central area of grass is. It's been squashed. I would say it's been cut in half. The height of it has been cut in half, and that means that more of my frame is dedicated to what's more interesting, and that is that gorgeous reflexion. Not quite sure how you can take me seriously with this thing on my head, but I'm trying my best. So yeah, it's a simple but really powerful trick to eliminate what is boring from your frame and devote real estate to what is more interesting. Oh, the light is kicking off right now, so I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to take this shot.
So as I mentioned earlier, I was after more than a simple reflection image, something with an added layer of interest. And there are times when a pure and simple reflection shot works well, but for me, a scene like this has so much more to offer the viewer, and I wanted to represent that in a more powerful way. So after working the scene, I determined that I needed to shoot a panorama in order to capture the composition that I wanted, but first I was in desperate need of some rehydration and liquid refreshment.
When you're hiking up in the mountains and you're dragging a really heavy backpack up onto a location like this, you've got to travel light. You've got to be really sensible with what you bring up the hill. And so with your refreshments and your rehydration, it's very important to make the right kind of choices. So what I brought today is a can of draft Guinness, which I'll guzzle right now. And it looks worse than it is. It's just, yeah. Because everybody knows that Guinness rehydrates you as quickly as possible. It's kind of like coffee. Coffee does that, doesn't it? No?
I don't think so.
It's a diuretic.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, at least it's Guinness then and not coffee. Shit, the light's kicking off. I better do this pano. Can you all be Guinness?
Don't worry about me drinking it.
You can have some.
No, it's gross.
Oh. Right, so I've moved over to this other pond over here, and oh my god, the light is just fantastic right now. And I've framed up a 3-shot vertical panorama, so let me show you what I've got going on in this frame here. So my plan is to take that shot there, bosh, and then I'll move it over to about here, bosh, take that shot, and then the third shot I'll move over to about there and take that shot. So it's just a 3-shot vertical, and it'll give me a 16mm is just not wide enough for what I want, so it'll give me that almost, I would say, almost like a 10mm frame where I can get this whole mountain range reflected in this pool. And about 2 minutes ago, this cloud opened up and all of this foreground was just glowing with gorgeous light. So I'm hoping that that's going to come back while I'm doing my pano sweep. So that's the pano that I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this off now and actually start trying to take this pano in earnest. Wish me luck.
You know, it's very rare that I settle on the first composition that I find, because I'm just driven by the desire to refine my composition and always look for something extra special. And I think what set this composition off for me was that beautiful light hitting the treetops in the left of the frame, and then the way that it reflects in that tiny pond. Well worth the hike and suffering those winged micro vampires.
So another top tip I can give you through years of shooting in the Rockies, especially during the summer season, is these mosquitoes will find their way into your frame. So you don't really notice them when you're shooting, but you will notice it when you're playing back your images and you're like, oh my god, 18 frames, the best frames are totally ruined because of mosquitoes. There'll just be this little smudge flying through the air. So the thing that I do is because I shoot with a 2-second timer, or if you had a remote, that's just as good. But basically, I hit my 2-second timer and I do the wave of hatred, and then it takes the shot. And if you're lucky, you'll probably have to do it a few times, wave of hatred. And then the shot will happen just after you've created this little draft, which the mozzies don't like. If you forget to do the wave of hatred, they will be in your frame and you will be pissed off. Right, can you just move out of the shot? I'm just going to get this. It's so gorgeous. Oh my god. Are you still filming? We'll cut that bit out.
I don't think so.
Well, I edit the videos, so...
No, I don't think you're going to do this one.
No? You're going to edit your first video?
I'm going to distract you.
Pretty sure you won't.
I'm pretty sure I can.
Pretty sure you'll be watching Gossip Girl while I'm editing this video. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Oh, I forgot to do the wave of hatred. Practice what you preach, Gavin. Practice what you preach. Oh, oh. They're such bastards. Just off.
Now, as if the rehydration tip and the wave of hatred weren't useful enough, this next photography tip is well worth the price of entry.
Now, a really powerful top tip for you here, pro tip in fact, is whenever you shoot a shot like this where the sun is right behind you, you've got your shadow in the frame. So what you do is, you do the photographer's scarper. So 2-second timer, hit the timer. Because I'm tired and fat, that was a bit slow, I'll do that again. Hit the shot, run, take that shot, run back, take that shot. Hopefully my shadow is not in either of those frames. Very technical term, but very powerful in the end. Fuck, I'm knackered. Running around at high altitude, grotesquely overweight with a heavy beer can is exhausting, but you know, it's what athletes do.
So now that you know how to deal with shadows and mosquitoes, let Amanda show you her 100% effective bear repellent.
Sorry.
Safety guaranteed.
Well, I reckon the best of the light is done now. This massive bank of clouds has come and occluded the sun, so we're not going to get that lovely glow on the peaks that I was hoping for, but it was still quite tremendous. I got some really gorgeous contrasty light that was almost what I was after, but not quite. I probably needed another 30 minutes, but that cloud bank came in, I'm not going to get it. But I am still really happy with what I got. It wasn't too bad of a hike, was it?
No, it was good. If I wasn't so tired, it would have been just right. But that's what the camper's for.
Yeah.
Cozy.
Should we go down the hill then and brave the grizzly paths and go back to the camper?
Or maybe we should just sleep here.
Sleep here or in the camper? Oh, that cloud's buggering off. We'll get 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes?
Okay. You're gonna say that till it's dark, aren't you? And you're gonna have me walk down in the dark. I think you would.
Oh, I'm sick of being a banquet for these motherfuckers. It's time to go down. Let's f off.
Let's go down.
We'll hike back down the hill to Hardcastle Hotel. Is it alright if I call it that?
Like maybe when we're married.
That's...
There's one inside your hair.
Kill it! Get it! Ow! That's spousal abuse, I think.
Whoa. Oh.
So we're gonna go down to Hotel Hardcastle and have a shower.
Oh, a shower would be good.
All sweaty and stinky, hot and bothered. Well, I'm hot, you're freezing as usual. But yeah, get to the camper and just have a shower. And maybe another can of Guinness. Don't I just take you to the most deluxe places?
Yeah, you really do.
I mean,
Beautiful.
a bug-infested swamp.
Maybe I can make a game of it, and I can eat them for protein.
You actually got one?
I kind of liked it.
No, you didn't. I guess they're part of a food chain, but what would happen if they just disappeared? Would it be the end of everything? Are they critical? Or are they just twats? There's a bit of cheese.
I think we're gonna switch now. I don't want to put my head in that cheese.
This is mine then.
Yeah, we're switching. I'm not wearing that.
I'm stuck with the $3 bug net, and you've got my $40 midge net from Scotland.
You're the one that decided to eat a sandwich under it.
Have I got like a cloud?
Yeah. Do they get worse as it gets darker? Oh my gosh. It's like you have a beard of
cheese and meat. I have a beard of prosciutto, cheddar, and sun-dried tomatoes. I'm hot. Smoking. And I'm chewing my sarnie while the pano's going on. By the time I've done my next round of pano, my sarnie's patiently waiting for me in my net, ready to be gobbled up at a moment's notice. There you go, ready.
What am I witnessing here? Jeez.
You know that I'm inventive. I feel a new patent coming on. A bug sarnie net. Eat your sandwich, take your shots, and free yourself from the scourge of the vile shithouses known as mosquitoes. I think I'm going to get my can of Guinness and put it in here as well. Now, it's vitally important when you're hiking in the mountains, first of all, to wear appropriate footwear, which I failed to do today. I'm not wearing appropriate footwear, and the main reason for that is these bastard mosquitoes. But, you know, I'd rather just wear boots, look a bit of a wimp, than have these annihilated for the next 3 weeks and not be able to hike.